I might lose my farm because of the government.
On the libs! On the libs! There's so much owning of the libs going on right here.
Our EQIP program, which is cost sharing on fences, waters, a well, and some seedings, was funded by the Inflation Reduction Act.
And who signed the Inflation Reduction Act into law? Was it Joe Biden? Sir, that is socialism. And you are benefiting off of it. Did you post this a few months ago in October?
I'll tell you what I love. I love cows. But if we go with Kamala, you won't have any cows anymore because you're not.
A few moments later.
Our farm payment money, if we don't have that money, we will lose this farm. And the only way that I can think to get around it is we sell some cows. I'm done. I need your help to save my farm and many other farms.
Sir, we already tried to help you save your farm. The saving of the farms happened a few months ago on November 5th. Us on the left, or what is it that you call us, libtards? Us libtards showed up on November 5th and voted so that you could keep benefiting off the Inflation Reduction Act that would have saved your farm. You, Kyle, also showed up on November 5th and voted to preserve something that wasn't your farm. What did you vote to preserve, Kyle? You voted to preserve your white tea supremacy instead of saving your farm. Are you feeling superior right now, Kyle? I want you to get exactly what you voted for, Kyle, and I want you to feel the powerful consequences of your vote.
It's all gone. Everything is gone.
So like this fruit is not going to be able to be harvested because it's too far gone.
That's because on day one of the harvest, about half of their 120-person workforce wasn't there.
Our harvest workforce is primarily immigrants. I would say the majority are from Mexico originally. They are skilled workers who come up every single year. A lot of people have a lot of fear based on their ethnicity, which is an unfortunate thing.
Chandler says the fear over ICE raids isn't just present at his farm, but across many farms like his. For him, it means an unprecedented loss.
So we are in a situation where we're going to have to leave probably 300 to 400 tons of fruit on the tree. It's going to be devastating.
He and his wife are even looking for second jobs to make up for the loss. But on top of those fears, Chandler's wife is from Mexico, and the knowledge that people who look like her and his children don't feel welcome hits close to home.
We've got regular people out here who are helping us out. They're not criminals, they're not bad people. They're just like you and I. They're just trying to make a living. They're, taking care of their families. And for them to be in this country and in fear, that doesn't feel very good.
This is the consequences when we chose the wrong direction. Oh my God. Yes. It is what it is. Make America great. Yeah, low prices.
So by now we've all heard that Nebraska is going to go bankrupt in about 2 months, 60 days, give or take. And Nebraska was a state that voted overwhelmingly for that guy. And now they're all crying and screaming because their workforce is gone. All the immigrants that were there doing whatever they did for them, gone. All these people jumping on TikTok, all over social media, complaining about how they're about to lose their farms because they don't have anybody to work the farms. My thing is, like, when the man told you he was going to deport the immigrants and y'all still voted for him, did you think he was joking? Because his hatred for immigrants and people of color and anybody who's not a wealthy white man was the first clue that the rest of us got that he was going to do what the hell he said he was going to do. Let's be real about it. He tried it and got blocked in 2016 because at that time there were people in places in the administration that prevented him from doing that. Well, now he done got rid of all those people who would have stopped him from doing this craziness. So all that's left are the people like them, like y'all, who voted for this, who agree with the shit. I'm having a hard time understanding why we should care. Why those of us who didn't around but are also finding out, why are we supposed to care? Why are we supposed to be like, oh, you are sorry and you regret your vote because you're about to lose your family farm and God knows what else? We all got drama that we got to deal with and live through. There are a lot of people worried every day about losing their jobs. People who have jobs that are 100% federally funded, who are worried every day that they get up if that's going to be the day that they go to work and they tell them, oh, we're done, you don't need to come back. So why should we care about you when we all got to be out here worried about our own self? So all I'm saying is the run and find out is real for all of us. But for those of y'all that voted for this shit, y'all need to eat it. I wanted to say something else, but I don't know if children might see this video. But you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I don't think we give a shit. You know, concepts of thoughts, because y'all damn sure don't deserve our prayers. Good night.
In this video, we take a look at MAGA Trump supporters who are farmers in Nebraska and Texas who regret for Donald Trump. Their farm produce is now rotten on the farms. Their cattle ranches are now left unattended to. And this is bringing a lot of losses to these farmers in Texas and Nebraska. And some are even filing for bankruptcy. So let's watch the following videos of farmers who regret voting for Donald Trump. Then we'll come back here and discuss further about it. But before we watch the videos, if you haven't yet liked this video, kindly like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Let's watch the videos together.
It's Joe from Georgia. So this is news out of Texas. But folks, these are alarm bells ringing for the entire United States. And our government is not listening. Overnight, multiple farms in the state of Texas completely shut down. And the reason for this shutdown was because they have lost almost 100% of their workforce. Now, we know this is the result of the immigration raids and stricter enforcement, but the ripple effect is going to be felt all the way across this country. Now, you've got crops that are rotting in the fields. You have livestock that is not being attended to at all, and that takes a lot of personnel. And we're talking, so now we're getting every area of food to include meat. And the communities that surround these farms, those businesses and those people who depend on the income from these farms, it's creating disasters for small communities in Texas. Now, this is not stopping at Texas farms. This is going to end up all the way across America, especially in the breadbasket, the middle of the nation, because they have tons of immigrant help. But folks, the alarm bells are ringing. Your food on your plate is being affected. So you got to think about it. It won't be soon until either prices go ridiculously high or you just won't have any food to buy.
There's about 200 bales right here.
In the Harquahala Valley,
Alfalfa has taken over the majority of our crops here for cattle feed, not only here locally, but in California and all over the world.
alfalfa hay is big business, with Arizona farms exporting over $100 million of alfalfa overseas a year.
Like I said, normally this warehouse is completely full of hay.
Shannon Schultz is an alfalfa farmer and exporter. China made up about half of Arizona's exports. Now Schultz says Chinese farms are buying from other countries instead.
With the current tariffs in place, which is a total of about 66% of retaliatory tariffs by China to us, it puts our product out of the marketplace.
Still, Schultz says he supports the goals behind tariffs.
I do support President Trump.
But the clock is ticking.
It could break us. I mean, it could break a lot of farmers. We got to have some answers here fairly quickly.
When you look at, here in Iowa, you have corn, soybeans, you have hogs and pork that is exported overseas. And from the first Trump administration, the trade war, there were tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in losses for most of the farmers across here, the Midwest. And there is concern about what the end game is for President Trump in this trade war and what losses they could incur this go around, not just financially, but also the export markets overseas that they rely on to sell the goods they produce. Take a listen to some of our conversations. How much do all of the discussions around tariffs impact your future as you're looking out at planning?
Well, it causes a lot of uncertainty because we don't know what to expect from the marketplace. We don't know if the export markets that we export our grain or our ethanol or our pork to, what they're going to be like after this is all said and done.
What is your message to the Trump administration?
Just stay out of it. I mean, if they would just leave it alone and let the free market do its job, everything would be okay.
In response to the Trump administration's steel and aluminum tariffs last month, Canada and China already placed retaliatory tariffs on the likes of pork and corn. But we're expecting, because Canadian officials, for example, have already said they intend to do so, greater retaliatory tariffs on tens of billions of dollars worth of goods, from wine, bourbon, lobsters, jeans, pretty much anything you can think of being produced here in the United States, whether it's manufacturing or whether it's through the agricultural industry. We are expecting retaliatory tariffs because of the decisions and the announcement made at the White House.
Hey everybody, it's Will. I wanted to let you know that I appeared on News Nation this morning to talk about the overwhelming increase in farmer bankruptcies this year in the United States of America. Already this year, since President Trump took office, we've had more farmer bankruptcies under Section 12 than we had in the entire year in 2024. This is being caused by a lot of the policies that President Trump passed, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to these bankruptcies. Now, a lot of you may not know that Chapter 12 bankruptcy was actually originally created for farmers and fishermen in order for them to reorganize debt when they ran into difficult financial times. That's happening a lot lately due to very specific policies on the part of the president. First, you have the tariffs. The tariffs have been on again and off again for quite some time. I just read this morning and it blew my mind that there have been over 132 different iterations of the Trump tariff policy that's been put out there to the American public and the rest of the world since his inception when he first came into office. Think about that. 130 plus versions of the tariff plan for this country. You ask yourself the question, how can any other country or how can any commodity organization in the United States of America plan around that lack of planning? It's very, very difficult to do. It's caused other countries to throw tariffs onto the United States of America, which have cost us overseas markets, not only in row crops, but also in beef. And the problem is getting worse and worse. The second issue that we face in row cropping is that the break-even price right now for a commodity like corn is around $4 a bushel. And that price of corn has been dipping down below and a little bit above that per bushel price needed to break even for quite some time now. As a matter of fact, just a few weeks ago, the price of corn was somewhere around $3.80 a bushel, which was below break even. Right now, it's anywhere from $4.05 to $4.25, depending on how far you look out to December. But the bottom line is this: there aren't going to be massive profits on row crops this year due to the president's tariff policies, leading to a reduction in the amount of markets out there for commodities like corn, soybeans, etc. And this again is adding pressures to farmers, especially row crop farmers, that depend on credit in order to do their farming every year. The other issue driving up cost is the increased energy cost in this country. Now, if you haven't done so, I'm going to encourage you to go over to the page of my good friend, Mr. Global, and look at some of his latest work on energy costs and energy prices. He's made a prediction which looks like it's going to become true that's really frightening. And that is, in the very near future, energy prices, your utility bill that you pay at your home or on your farm, could be greater than the cost of your mortgage. And that's really, really a frightening scenario for farmers across the country. As these costs increase and as markets disappear and our ability to sell our commodities around the world decrease, it's setting up a perfect storm for bankruptcies in this country. The final thing I want to tell you is that it's no different when a farmer files for Chapter 12 reorganization than it is if a small business does it or an individual does it. The bottom line is a farmer comes out of that bankruptcy with destroyed or credit that's been diminished quite a bit. And in the farming industry, just like with many small businesses and larger businesses, where you need credit to operate, to buy the inputs that you need to produce the commodities that you're later going to sell, the difference between good credit and bad credit can mean several points in interest rates and the increased amount of money that you've got to put down at the beginning or the amount you have to collateralize in order to get a loan. This could mean you have to put more and more acreage up or more and more equipment up just to get the operating capital that you need to put crops in the ground or to put cattle in the field. So this is a really dark cloud that's building over agriculture right now as a direct result of of President Trump's agricultural policies. The other thing I want to tell you, and we can't forget this because I know that a lot of you who follow me and who are going to see this video are mental health advocates as well. Anytime we see a significant increase in farmer bankruptcies like we're seeing right now, we also see a significant increase in farmer unalivings. As the grandson of someone who went down that path, I can tell you that it impacts families for years and years to come. Anyway, that's the breakdown. That's what I shared on News Nation today. I hope you'll go check out the clip. And if you want to change policy in America, get better rural policy, better policy for agriculture, education, and healthcare, join us here on the Back 40 to fight the good fight. Go to our website, the Back 40 Official, allspelledout.com. Join to get our newsletter and join to get updated information. We're going to events all over the country. We've been to Missouri. We've been to Texas. We've been to Illinois. We've been to Kansas. We've been to Oklahoma. We've been to Arkansas, and we've been to Iowa. And we've got requests from all over the country. We're going to be up near St. Louis just later this week on Saturday. We're going to be in Perry, Oklahoma, and speaking to students at Oklahoma State University in August. It's really a great place to be if you want to impact change in rural America. And I'm asking you today to take that leap of faith and step out there and join. Have a great day, everybody.
Well, thanks to the big orange gremlin looking motherfucker, multiple farms in Texas just shut down overnight. Why? Because ICE raids made nearly 100% of the workforce completely vanish. People ran, got detained, or flat out got scared to death and never came back. Dairy farms are in panic mode right now. Cows got to be milked every 8 hours. And guess what? Nobody's showing up to milk these folks. This isn't some Texas problem either. This is happening across the entire nation. ICE isn't just out here enforcing some bullshit laws. They are actively crippling our food systems with fear and chaos. You want to talk about consequences? This ain't just about politics anymore, y'all. It's about what's on your table, what's in your fridge, or what's about to be missing from your fucking store. These Nimrods aren't saving America. They're starving it.
Welcome back. So in this video, we took a look at MAGA Trump supporters who are farmers in Nebraska and Texas who regret voting for Donald Trump because their farm produce are now rotten on the farm, and those of them who have cattle ranches have their livestock being unattended to because majority of their workforce were these immigrants who are undocumented, and because of the mass deportation policies, majority of these immigrants have been arrested and deported to their various countries. A few of them who probably may be in the United States are also in hiding and are not able to come to the farms and work over there. Now, there was one particular farm in Nebraska where some of these migrants were working over there, and ICE were there to arrest these farm workers. And this has deterred a lot of these immigrants not to come to the work site in order to work on these farms, so that they get arrested and deported. So this has left a lot of the crops of these farmers going bad. Some tomatoes, as you saw in the initial videos, are going bad. Fruits like berries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, and other fruits are also going bad because these workers are not coming to the farm to work over there. Now, one particular farmer was very quick to admit that they knew that this Trump policy was going to get the workers deported. However, they went ahead and voted for the same policy to be implemented. And when I think about it, I am not really able to grasp that. Why would you cut your nose in order to spite your face? This does not happen most often. This should tell you that they voted because of something different. They were expecting something different to happen, probably to a different community of people, and it has turned out this way. Now, when MAGA farmers and MAGA Trump supporters find out in ways like this, I particularly do not find it quite pitiful or have any empathy for them, because that is exactly what they wanted and they are now getting it. Just that they wanted other people to feel these things, and it is now coming back onto them. They voted for what they were expecting to happen to other people, and it is happening rather to them. So I don't have any kind of empathy or whatever for them. Whatever they voted for is whatever they are getting. Let me know what you also think about all these in the comment section below. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and your family on other social media platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and other social media platforms. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just click the subscribe button down here. Click on the subscribe button. Click as well on the notification bell. And I'd like to see you again in my next video.